like a neighborhood. So before I come in, I have a little bit worry about my language. It might be, cannot be, try to be compete or something that you little bit understanding. But anyway, I started my work, and I was born in 1951 in China, the southern part of the big city, large city, the population like more than 9 million population. So, but when I was born, China is already under the communist. And by time today, I will be see the society when I was there is a typical socialism and more leftist, the people by the government. So, and why I say I was born the family and like a middle class. My dad is the doctor and also teaching a medical school in the city. And my mom is officer by the Air Force. So, middle class, but actually we born, my mom, the related is like a capitalism because they are doing business, not a communist as for like a worker, farmer, or some kind of low range family type. So my dad also is, my grandpa is opened a school to teaching things like that. So actually by myself, when I grew up, I'm not the government as for the people continually work for the country. So this is under the situation, I know this is a communist. When I was in high school time, it's 1966, and then suddenly we do have called the Cultural Revolution. That's in China. All the students and no school, no government, because it's a mouth to create these kind of things, and let the people, let the student to against the top people because they want to change the government things by the dictatorship, you know. So when I was in high school time, we actually would join the Red Guard to protect Mao. But that's the whole China. I believe most of the people probably knows what's going on was there. And it takes us about 3.5 years. Finally, all the central government, the head is all down. Mao, those leftists, is controlling everything. So then we back to school. Under the graduation time, and the government, because too many the kids and students waiting for government for graduation and then send it to the work or something, but too many. And also China is a pretty poor country all the time, you know. And they don't choose me because my dad, my mom is not their type. So they say, you go to a countryside for work. I say, how long? They say, for your life. I say, what? Why? I asked the school, you know, and they say, that's a government decide. You have to go. No choice. So that's why I was sent, I'm lucky I was sent to the southern part of China, nearby Hong Kong, the countryside, be a farmer. So I know how to plant the rice, how to make the cow work for the land, And I spent like 3 years in there. And on the time, I do all the work. I'm the leader of the young students. So under the young students in the area, I think we have 900 young students. I'm the leader too. But I'm the one is always against the not fair. Like the government not taking care of the student and the farmer, and they have a trouble between us. And this is what I always have a meeting and with the leader side on there. But later on, and I asked the government, I say, I've been there for 3 years. You guys not give me any kind of time I can go somewhere or something. They say, no, you stay there. That's why I just don't want it. And I see the sign. I was in the land, working on the farm. It's about from here to Chicago. That far away, it's been Hong Kong. That's why I get a chance. So I decided to climb the mountain and finally swimming by the bay and reach to Hong Kong. That's what I do. Then I was in the farm in 1968. Then I started to escape 1969 when I was 21 years old time. So, but I was unlucky. I tried to 4 times escape. Always reach to the beach, the water, ready to go swim to Hong Kong. I was found by the guard or the German Shepherd, those dogs. So I came back 4 times. That's why it spent me about three more years in China by jail, concentration camp, all kinds of things. But anyway, I like a stone mine, no change. They say, why you don't change? I say, well, you don't give me the no hope. If I lost one in my life, it's no chance, nothing to buy. So I keep going on the dead time, you know. So, and finally, the 5th time I should see is not on 1972. Yeah, I reached finally to Hong Kong. And I remember that night, we have 9 people jump into water. And the time when we started swimming, we blow the air like a guard, safeguard. And suddenly I hear the land, the shore. They say, God, somebody is down to the water already, because they see the footprint by the sand. And then they try to use a flashlight, because China, the time is pretty dark side. You know, at night time we swimming. And they can't find it. And then finally they push the boat down to the water, try to trace it. So I tell everybody, 9 people, I say, no chance. We have to reach to Hong Kong, because I am a situation in a bad worse. It's 5 times. If I can't, I'll probably in jail probably 10 years. You know? So I say, push out the folder. So everybody just keeps swimming. So everybody listening. And also we heard the voice is closer and closer to us. And we try to be to Hong Kong direction, swimming started. And finally we push out. Those stupid people is chasing the foam, okay? Because they don't believe us without float, still swimming to Hong Kong. But how far away? We take 8 hours. Yeah, from that night, I believe it's around 10 o'clock. I reached to Hong Kong, I barely can see the sunrise from the water. And then I believe it's maybe about 5 o'clock in the morning. And then I will be straight to Hong Kong time. But suddenly I hear the boat, the fishing boat, forward to our group. Then I tell everybody, go down to the water, stay under the water, and let the boat cross our head. Otherwise, if we were founded, they would cut us back to boat and send back to China. That is no way. I say, that's why I tell 9 people we are separately free group under the water, and then keep swimming until we hear the voice is little further, cannot much. Then we come up, and I go up. I don't see nobody except me, because you're underwater. Who knows? And then I call the name, no answer. So I decide only the way I keep going. So half hour, I reach to the end. And then I reach there, and then suddenly have one guy come out from the village to the water. Hey, friend, come over. I know you come from there. I take you and then come to my house. Because those people knows they accept me, then they ask me, my relative or friend in Hong Kong, and come to take me, and they will add some money. That's why, they willing to accept me and take me to their home. When I was there and follow him and get into home, I have some guy experience to tell me they're already in Hong Kong, but they tell me, you make sure if someone take you to home, you watch their house have any mouse pictures or cameras to face. Otherwise, they might be take you back there too. That's why I see, nothing, so I will be pretty peaceful and listen to what you're doing. Okay, that's the whole thing for me to reach to Hong Kong. And I'm lucky in Hong Kong, 6 days later, we met some kind of Catholic church, the mission group, and then they accept us to help us to get some money, try to get some job, and also want the system and say, if you guys want to study English, I can teach you. So finally we have one group, the whole group. I think she found all different people, totally about 32 people for her English lesson. That's why we went to Hong Kong first week. We starting to learn how to learn English things. That's the only way. And until I stayed in Hong Kong 1974, the Catholic Church get the information by the United States government. They have a program called the refugee program. And they say if you can find some friend or sponsor in the United States, you guys don't want to stay in Hong Kong, you can go to United States. Because that time it's a Vietnam War and a lot of refugees also. So we are on this program. I also finally they found me one sponsor in Los Angeles and California, and they asked me, "Do you afraid to go to Los Angeles?" I said, "Oh, of course. I heard that is no problem." So by time I'm only one guy, and then they sponsor me to Los Angeles. 1974, October 4th, I reached to the airport, and I see my name on the board, and they like looking for, then I pass away, and then, oh, okay. And then, before I contact to them, I send my picture to them. That's why they knows me. They try to sponsor me and get all the paper done. They know, oh, okay. And finally, they took me out from the LA airport and go to my sponsor's car. Wow, with so many cars over there. Because in China, only see bicycle. Okay, in Hong Kong, so many people, it's a bus. But in here, LA is so many cars. And then my sponsor took me there. Then I said, wow, that looks like a boat. You know the Cadillac? Cadillac, the old Cadillac is a big tail, big car, you know? And I get into the, wow, it looks like a house. Okay, and then I suddenly say, I asked her husband, I said, what kind of car is it? Oh, Cadillac. What? I never heard that in Hong Kong. I don't see that kind of car because Hong Kong is a small place. Those cars are too big, look like a truck, you know. And I asked him, you know how to drive? Oh, easy. This car is very comfortable. So I sit down in the back, and her husband asked me, if you feel the air conditioner, you don't get used to it, open the window. I said, how to open the window? He said, push the button. So I push the button, the chair going down. And he said, if you want to close up, just push the button on the different side. Okay. And then I feel very interested. And then on the back, up and down, my sponsor's husband said, hey, Tony, I don't have a Tony. And he asked my name. You be careful, not playing around like a kid, you know. Up and down. And then just let they go, and okay, and very comfortable. And all kinds of automatic things. Yeah, I never saw, never even think about. By the time reached to their house, wow. You know, so much it surprised me. They do have the swimming pool, second floor, and a whole bunch of things I never see. And then they open the TV and things like that. Oh, sit down. I say, oh, okay, no problem. Okay. And then they say, do you have an English name? I say, no. Just give me the English name. They say, what do you want to have? I say, whatever easy to spell and less spell it. They're much better. Oh, what do you say, Tony? Oh, nice. Only 4 words. That's what I take it. And they understand, you know, because I go through 2 different regions. One is China, one is Hong Kong. And then now I come to the United States, it's a whole different thing. But only the trouble is you guys speak too fast. I can't even understand what you blah, 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 blah. Especially the lady, big. Oh God, where I catch up. So finally, my aunt, I tell my sponsor's aunt, my aunt tell me, Tony, one thing first day in the United States, I tell you, if you want to really live in this country, you have to learn English. You never move to Chinatown. You have to live around this area. I say, yes, I want to learn more English because I want to get along with it. Then I remember her, and then I say, okay, how about my job? And then they say, okay, don't worry about it. And then I say, well, because I come from Hong Kong, I only bring a $32 American dollar. That's it. I say, well, I know the life is tough and pretty hard to find jobs and language. mostly power. So finally, I asked my sponsor try to find my job. 2 more months, I found the one job in Los Angeles. But transportation, I live in the village, far away, like an hour and a half for drive to work. I don't know how to drive, and I asked my sponsor's husband drive me there because he is a chef working in the big city. So he get up 3 o'clock in the morning. Then I get up earlier than him, 2:30. I get up already waiting for him, and he's ready to work, and then drive me to downtown Los Angeles. Then I take the bus to where I'm working. Okay, for the time, I feel very strange because the society really hard for me to get along, really hard to need me right away to know more English. So before and I got work, so first I have to try to get the driver's license. That's the first. And then about 6 days, I asked my aunt give me like a book for the driver's book to reading tests or things like that. And then she taught me a lot of English, so a lot of knowledge and tell me to. And finally I'm lucky to pass the test. And then I asked my aunt's husband teach me how to drive. And then their son and teach me about, I guess about 3 times. Then I said, can I go to take a driver test? Then he took me to there. Finally I passed.
Wow.
Because I understand I got to learn quick, do things right away. So, and then finally I have 2 feet now. So I can not depends on my aunt's husband. And I be get up maybe about 4:30 instead 2:30. And also when I get off work from the Los Angeles, I have to take a bus before I get the bus. I get the car. You know the bus, I get off work 3:30 afternoon. Then I reach to their house, take bus, 7:30 already. Transportation that many hours. Oh boy. Sometimes I pass like a Hollywood and things like that and then keep going. Wow. And finally I got the car and I'm free. So I work for that place only 3 weeks. 3 months. Because I got paid $2 per hour. Yeah, 1975. And $2 per hour. And then I remember, take the test and things, my paycheck is only about $50-some for a week. So I be saved, and also I borrow the money, buy the car, and then 3 months I be able to save $300, buy the car, and pay back to the sponsor. And everything good, then I think about how do I learn more English? I watch TV, they give me a Sesame Street. Yeah, that is the first I learned. Wow, that's good. Good to know. But I thinking, how do I do it directly to improve myself? And I'm 21 years old, and weekend I always dragging, running around the area. Because every house over there, pretty simple, almost the same. So I have to watch some kind of tree or some kind of particular thing. Then otherwise I lost my house. No way I can. But around the area, I start running every, maybe about 3 weeks later, I see some the high school girl follow me to run. And then also say hi and very warm, very helpful. And then I say, well, I learn, mostly I use my hand motion to explain myself. And I say I want to be a friend and I want to learn more English. And they very welcome. They are very acceptable for me. And then I start to learn, and I at least I have about 4 girls friends. Because I'm thinking girls mostly talk so much. Men is not much talk or sport, you know. This is what I think. So that's why I learned it. And then I started to learn pretty quick. 2 months I've been able to talking with them, and they catch me some kind used to work or something, and then I learn a lot more. But sometimes they took me to Hollywood to see movies. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So for my whole life, if from Hong Kong, from China swimming in Hong Kong, I already tell the distance. But for them, later on they know I am the escaper. That's why they are very close to me. And then I start to have a lot of boys be my friend because we go to swimming and running and play basketball. That is what I try to get along with. And I learned a lot more English until to 1976. Then I went to school to learn how to do the GED program because my age is over, not in high school anymore. So if I want to go to college, I got to have a GED program to do. So finally I did, and I went to that Hall Adult Education Center. I think it's about 4 months. I graduated. Yeah, because I know I have to try the hard way to do. I'm not lazy. So finally I graduated, I got a diploma. Then I went to college. Yeah. But the time I have to work, complete whole day. So at night time, then I go to college, go to the school and simply like that time. For how do I grow up in United States, the whole thing is so much, your people is so warm and so welcome me to learning their language. A lot of people teach me so much, and I really appreciate in my life and in my new life in here. That's why a lot of people today ask me, when you're getting older, do you want to go back home? I say no. I get used to here. I get used to these people, they smile and they're peaceful. And also the freedom of the choice. This country, they keep me powerless. So until today, I don't even have like a little point to go back to China because also, even China today changed so much. They look, I did back to China for so many. I think it's about 2004. I started to go back to China for business and learning how do they do things until I my age getting older. And my dad passed away, I remember, is 2012 in San Francisco. And I believe the time, that's the last time I'm in China. Because when my age getting older, I take the airplane from Chicago direct flight to Hong Kong and change to China, but totally hour, 15.5 hours in the plane. Wow, when I get off work, get off airplane, I have to sit in the airport for 2 hours. Then both foot is swelling. So I know the age is not quite good for the flying. So I decided that's the last time I take the air back to China to bed. That's the only way I do it. So my job is done. And so I tell my son, I say, well, I will stay in here, whatever I be. But it's 3 years ago, I lost my wife. And it's a very strategy for us, so sad, but nothing I can do. My wife had cancer. And she with me since 1979, starting China Palace. She been there 44 years, and we are together since 1976. So quite when she left, almost 50 years we together. It's kind of long time in my life. So I promise, I tell myself, my heart is so small, it only can handle only one. So a lot of customers ask me, do you want to looking for some new opportunity or something? I tell them my heart too small. Can I know only one good enough? Nothing I can do. So, but anyway, for today, I'd be willing to share with you so many things, but sometimes my language or something, I will be lack of to explanation. But by the time your reaction to me, I'm so proud and so happy and so strong to feel friendly and welcome of warm and give me more power. And I really appreciate it for you guys to come and attend to here tonight. And if you guys have any question, I can able to answer it, please.
First of all, there's a couple, but one, the first two of them is when you were in China, how do you know that Hong Kong was better? Did you get some information?
Well, that is only the one thing we are very appreciate when I will join the Cultural Revolution. Because on the time, no government, okay? The people thinking it's just a free, whatever you want to find the information. Finally, we found Hong Kong information, United States information, all kind of Western, the style, all kind of knowledge. We started again because no control on time, like 3.5 years, no control. We don't have a school, we have a time, then we have knowledge to learn. That's why we found Hong Kong the
And
lot
then,
of things.
and then the next, just the same question is, how did you get